Hey guys, welcome to the tutorial of the vehicle manufacturer sample application. This was built using IBM Blockchain Platform Develop and has been deployed to the IBM Blockchain Platform running on IBM Cloud. The application showcases the benefits of the IBM Blockchain Platform within the scenario of buying a vehicle and manufacturing. Um, we will be focusing on three entities in this blockchain tutorial, which will be the buyer of the vehicle, the manufacturer of the vehicle, and also the regulatory authority. Um, right, so I'm currently on the GitHub page of the vehicle manufacturer app. You can find the link to this GitHub page in the description. We will pretty much do this in two steps. The first step would be installing and deploying this application on IBM Cloud, followed by going through a quick demo of the actual application. Alright, so as we can see, we have a direct deploy to IBM Cloud option over here, but today we'll be focusing more on manually deploying this and sort of running all the steps that are provided here to deploy this. Right, so the first command that we see here is to install the composer. I have already installed Composer. You can pretty much run it using npm. If you do not have npm, you can look up your package manager and install npm and node, which are prerequisite for this. Some apps are kind of finicky about the version of npm and node that they use. So let me quickly show my version for these two. Right. Alright, so once you're done installing the Composer CLI, and we also see we need to install the Cloud Foundry CLI, which would be required later on. Again, this would depend on your package manager. You can just select the appropriate command. Right, so let's clone this repository. What you're gonna do is just use Git. You can install Git if you don't have it, or you can just clone and download from here. But highly recommend installing Git. It'd be helpful later on. So let's create blockchain demo. Oops. Oh, did not do that right. There we go. And we're gonna clone it. Right. So now we have the repository vehicle manufacturer. Let's go in there. Alright, moving on. Next we're gonna create the network archive file. So we are inside the directory. We're gonna create the contracts list. Now we have that there, and we're gonna run a composer command to create the actual BNA file. Right, command succeeded. Now we can see that within contracts we have the dist directory, and we have the vehicle manufacturing network in here. Let's go back here. Right. So next thing would be to create a blockchain service on IBM Cloud. So let's go to, I've already logged in my specific IBM account. We can go to IBM Cloud here. I'll just use the link which is provided here. This takes us to the blockchain service. Right, here we go. Remember this name, blockchain NU. It'll be useful for us later on. You can just give a different name as well. I'm just going to keep it as such for now. We have chosen the starter membership plan, and I'm going to create. Right. Now that our blockchain network has been created, we're going to move on to step 3, which is configuring certificates. Um, so over here, we're going to launch. Got it. And we're going to go to channels. Right. So we're going to confirm now, all right, move this here, that in the channels page we have a default channel. And we're going to also make sure that now in the overview page, we can sort of download the file. Connection profile, and download that. Right, now that we have downloaded the connection profile, going to go to the next step, which says just rename this file to connection profile. So that's connection profile. Let's rename that. And going to move it to the earlier directory that we created, dist. Right, now we have it here. Right, so we have moved it to contracts dist directory. And alright, so now we're going to open the connection profile.json file, scroll to the bottom. In the registrar field, there is an enroll secret property. This will be needed in future commands, so make note of it. Right, so we're going to open this file. We have the registrar and we have the enroll secret. I'm going to copy this and keep a note of it somewhere. So I'll just put it right here. Oops, I seem to have copied the wrong thing. Alright. Moving on. Now use the enroll secret retrieved about to create a certificate authority card. X. Right. So we're going to replace the enroll secret right here with our specific enroll secret. I'm going to go back. It'll be easier working here and pasting this. Alright. So I think we're gonna make sure that we are again in the home directory of this particular clone repository. So here we are, and we'll run the commands here. So our CA card is successfully created. We're gonna run the next command, import your CA card. Alright. Now we're gonna exchange the enroll secret for valid certificates from the CA. Right. So I'm gonna copy this command again, take it over here, and replace this. Right. So that was successfully done. It says the above command will generate a credentials directory where the command for containing the certificate files will be run. As we can see, that is true. We have it here, and we should have our credentials in there. Right, there we go. So now we'll have to move these, add these certificate files in our console. So we're going to do this by opening the members page. So we come back here to the blockchain service that we had created, click the members page, certificates, and add certificate. Let's give this a small name. I don't vehicle and certs, and the actual certificate, which is gonna be in our credentials admin pub.pm. So admin pub. This is a certificate. I'm just gonna copy that. PB copy just copies this over to my clipboard. Right. And now I can go back here and paste this. Right, so now we have copied over our certificate. We're going to submit. Yes, we want to restart our peers after this. Let's look at what the next step are. Right, so this command is already processed. Submit and restart, we have done that. Restarting may take a few minutes. Finally, sync the certificates to the channel by opening the channels page, and in the default channel, press the three dots in action columns to open the menu. Click sync certificate. Right. So we go to the channels page. We had seen the default channel which was there earlier. Go here, sync certificate, submit. Right. Now that is done. We move on to step 4. Right. So again, ensure that the terminal is in clone repository. Let's do that. We are not. So I'm going to go back here. Yes, we are in the root of the clone repository. Right. Now we're just going to run the next command to create a card with channel and peer admin roles. There we go. That's done. Importing the admin card. Install the network. Right, it's installing the business network. That is done, and now we're gonna start the network. One thing to make sure is that this is version 0.2.5, matches the command over here, matches the value in the command here. Oops, I seem to have copied that. Start the network. Yeah, this is taking a couple of minutes here. Let's see what's next. If this command fails, yeah, we want to make sure that the version is correct. Let's hope it does not fail. There we go. So we have successfully done that. Let's move on and delete the card created. So the next command to be run. Create a new card. There we go. That takes into account the certificates that we just created earlier. And now we're going to import the new card. There we go. That's imported. Now we're going to make sure that the network has deployed. So we're going to ping it. Right. So we were able to successfully ping our network. Right. Now on to step 5. We're going to provision our cloud end service. So let's go here. Height and press create. All right. We're gonna just select both of these. That's gonna be default. Yep. Let's create that. All right. In here, you go to service credentials and new credentials. Press add in the pop-up. Credentials 1. cloudin.json. Alright, so first let's do that. New credential. Service credentials 1. Yeah, it looks okay. Right, we've added the credentials. Now to the next step, create a new file, cloudin.json, in your vehicle manufacturer directory. Alright, let's go there. We are here, and we create cloudin.json. Let me paste this. JSON. Alright, we have that. Alright, get the JSON data of your credentials by clicking View Credentials. Alright, we have that. Just gonna copy that. Replace the data in the options part. Alright, so here we have options. We have that. I'm just gonna indent it. There we go. Now that we have copied it in there, there's another thing that we have to add a new JSON field, database wallet. So let's do that here. Database wallet. That's done. We can move on. Create the cloud-in database. With the cloud-in URL. Where is our cloud-in URL? It's going to be cat. Right. I think this is going to be it in the URL field of our config. I'm just going to copy this over. I'll have to copy this again. We have the URL. All right. And let's run the command. All right, that's done. We set the node config environment variables, so I'm just simply going to copy this over, paste it, import the admin card to the cloud in service. We take this, all right, that's done. Right, so now on to deploying the applications. Right, so I'm going to use the Cloud Foundry CLI and log in. I'll just use a single sign-on for this one. Right. Let me just go into my other system and get the single sign-on password. .ng Bluemix. Alright, so our one-time passcode. Alright, there we go, authenticated. I'm gonna select the first org. Alright, that's done. Moving on. Now we're just gonna push our REST server, Docker image. Right, it's creating the app, the REST app that will be provisioned on IBM Cloud. Alright, that is done. Now we're going to set the environment variables. So I'm simply going to copy these over. Alright, that's done. The other three. And the last here. Right, now we're going to push playground using Docker image. That. Alright, that's done. We set the environment variable for this as well. Alright, and finally we push the vehicle manufacturer application itself. Right. Now we're going to bind the blockchain service that we had created very initially with that, with this particular application. So if you remember, we had the the blockchain service name initially, which I told we might need it. I'm going to replace it right there. So our blockchain service name was go back here. Right. It was blockchain NU. And as you can see now, we have like these three applications here, which we just pushed recently. I'm going to copy this name over. Don't want to go in there. Replace that. Alright, that's done. Moving on. Now we set the environment variable used to tell the vehicle manufacturer application where to send the request. So we can pretty much use this right here, the routes, or we can just follow what it says here and go into the application. So vehicle manufacturer REST, and in routes we can see what it says here. So wait, this is different from the route over here. So we'll just use this current one. I'm gonna copy that over. This was mybluemix.net. Right. So we're gonna use this command. This is for the rest. So I'm gonna replace the REST server URL here. Right, that's done. We're gonna run this command. You will see where this variable is sort of taken when we run the application. Right, that is done. We do the same thing with playground. I'm gonna copy this over. And in our applications, I go to vehicle manufacturer playground. Same thing, routes. mybluemix.net. Right, and now we can run this. Right, so that is done. We move back and now we can just start all our applications. So first we start the REST server, then we start Playground. Yeah, this takes a couple of minutes to finish for all three, and then we should be ready to start our application and view it. All right, that's done. We can start Playground now. I think we should be almost there. Um, all right, that's done. That took a while. Yeah, finally we start the application. Alright, so now that that is done, we have successfully finished all the commands. We can go ahead and run our application. So in our dashboard again, let me click the vehicle manufacturer app. Remember that if any of these commands failed, um, try checking your npm and node versions, because sometimes, as I said initially, the app might not be compatible with them. Right. Let's visit the app. All right, here we go. I'll follow the tutorial along with you guys. Right. So as we can see, we have this app Arium configurator. Right now, I'm Paul. So I'm the car buyer. So we are looking at it from his perspective. From the car buyer's perspective, he gets to choose the car that he wants. So we go into the app, and also before we go further, if you remember, this is our connection to our REST server. So these are the configurations that we had actually copied over last time. Right, but now let's go ahead and design a car. So we have 3 cars available. Let's select one. Let's select the trim. Maybe we'll go for the free tire. Let's go with that. Interior, let's go with that. And extras, probably nothing. Right, let's place our order. Right, cool. So we have got an order number now, which means it has been pushed on the blockchain. Let's go to the next step. Now we're looking at the dashboard from the manufacturer's view. So we can see this is the manufacturer via Mike, and we see that an order has been received. And what we can see is that without the, I guess, interaction of an approval or any kind of approval from me, the manufacturer, things are proceeding as and when the vehicle is assembled. So without requiring any manual approval, it's just proceeding automatically. But I am here, or for instance, the manufacturer is here to just maintain an oversight over everything that's happening. So we see that all the manufacturing process was done, a VIN number was issued, which would be dedicated for that particular car, for the particular vehicle, and it was shipped to Paul. Right, let's move forward to the regulator. So now we are like the vehicle and driver's authority, and we see the transaction that was done here. We see an order which was placed by Paul, and then it was updated on the blockchain, and all the transaction records can be found over here. Right, so guys, this was the vehicle manufacturer demo, which was built on IBM Blockchain Platform, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. See you guys next time. Ciao.